When it's under attack, the snake fires up its signature tune, one of the most startling sounds in nature. The rattle vibrates at up to 100 cycles per second in a mathematically perfect stationary wave, a movement that requires little energy, so the snake can keep rattling for hours and not get tired. The rattle itself is made of modified scales that are loosely joined. When shaken, they knock against each other. A new segment is added every time the snake sheds its skin, but a rattle rarely grows longer than 8 or 9 segments due to wear and tear. The quality of the sound depends on the size of snake and the length of its rattle. Long rattles of 12 to 16 segments, like the rattle on this eastern diamondback, are quieter than medium-sized rattles. The loudest and most efficient ones are those from 6 to 12 segments long. Also, large snakes rattle at low frequencies, and smaller ones have higher frequency rattles. But curiously, this predator defense can end up being used against the snake. New discoveries show us how a rattlesnake can be duped, and its canny opponent is not who you might expect. Solano Lakes, a scenic park not far from the University of California at Davis. This is the home to a healthy population of closely studied California ground squirrels. It's odd to think of squirrels as upstaging rattlesnakes, but these fluffy characters are more than easy prey. They show some remarkable behavior that's caught the attention of Davis biologist Aaron Rundas. The squirrels scatter at first, but to monitor how they react to a rattlesnake, Rundas sets up a confrontation, yet minimizes the chance of them coming to blows. The rattlesnake in his experiments is the local northern Pacific, and to prevent the snakes from harming the squirrels, but still show as near as natural behavior as possible, Rundas tethers the snake.
So I'm going to hold this, let go of the...
It's placed near squirrel burrows, where babies are probably hiding. And squirrel 9E is the first to come to their defense. Aaron watches and records their behavior using his car as a hide, and he finds that squirrels first react to the snake by waving their tails.
So here you can see a squirrel that's tail flagging at this rattlesnake. Looks like it's just doing a couple individual bouts of tail flagging.
By flagging at it, the squirrels provoke the snake to shake its rattle. The rattlesnake is unwittingly revealing information about itself, its size and therefore its strength and distance it can strike. Vital information that could give the squirrels an advantage. The squirrels use tail flagging rather than calling, so other predators are not alerted. The rattlesnake is effectively deaf and would ignore acoustic signals anyway.
Squirrels, you can see, are coming up fairly close to this snake, really close actually when they're doing their tail flagging behavior, but you'll notice that they're staying just outside of the strike range of the snake.
But even if they're struck by the snake, it's not the end. Other research shows that these adult squirrels have a factor in their blood that gives them immunity to rattlesnake venom. But baby squirrels do not have the same immunity as adults. So parent squirrels need to protect the burrows at all costs. When a ground squirrel is really under threat from a rattlesnake, it will resort to a behavior called substrate throwing, a really potent form of harassment. It shows the snake that it's been spotted and therefore can't rely on a surprise attack to reach its target. The squirrels listen to the rattle. A low-frequency rattle indicates a large, mature snake, one that packs more venom and strikes from a longer distance than a smaller one. In order to better quantify the results from squirrels in the wild, Aaron devised a novel test. Together with the bioengineering department at Davis, he created Robo-Squirrel, whose tail flagging is controlled by a computer. With this, Rundis discovered that the two species have opened a communications channel. Signals from the squirrel affect the posture of the snake. The snake's elongated posture is less defensive. It feels less intimidated. The squirrel's tail flagging causes the snake to coil and show it's on red alert and ready to strike. Squirrels and snakes are actually talking to each other. Back in the wild at Solano Lakes, graduate student Barbara Klukas has found more elements to this snake-squirrel language. She's noticed that if the squirrels find a shed rattlesnake skin, they react immediately. At first, they're suspicious and tail flag, just to be sure it doesn't bite back.